Hey, what is going on? Of course, to all of my adult alternative book snobs out there, it's me, of course, your plus size booktuber connoisseur here, Amira Blaze. Welcome back, guys. Book Shade. Guys, this is a very special live episode. I'm gonna be doing a live episode once a week on Sundays, actually, but I couldn't help it, guys. This, for those of you who love the romance book genre as much as I do, guys, what I found today is going to blow your motherfucking mind. Like, I mean, guys, let me tell you, when I found this website, I was like, no freaking way. Guys, on today's episode of Book Shade, I always like doing, things kind of different, being a booktuber, myself. I am going to be using, guys, this awesome website for those of you who are fans of what they call Romancelandia, which means that you enjoy reading romance books. And guys, this website is called romance.io. I've never heard about this. I was just looking, guys, for with what's going on with, the romance book genre and stuff. Because here's my thing, guys. You'll learn very very quickly that I really suck when it comes to keeping up with the newer romance book series. I'm a very vintage person at heart, so a lot of stuff that I like to review may be book series you've never heard of, maybe some that you have, some that are classics, and that's the type of thing that I like to do. But guys, let me tell you, this romance.io, I just found this on accident, and I was like, I have to do a live episode. And what I'm going to be doing, guys, something different here on the program, besides the book hauls that I do from time to time. I am going to be making a romance TBR based on the organization of the romance.io website. And I'm also going to be doing a tutorial coinciding that, showing you how to use this website. So let's not waste any time, guys. So let me bring it up here so you guys can see it. So this is it right here, guys. This is the romance.io website. So how this works is when you get to the website the first time, okay? When you get to this website, you can actually sign up for a, you can get sales and stuff sent to your email, which is really cool. So that's one thing, guys. Like I said, when I was on the romance book live discussion yesterday, once again, I got to give the most of the thanks. I'm being a mess, but I got to give the most thanks to Peace Love Books and all of the new people that I have been introduced to, that are romance book connoisseurs like myself. Like, y'all are the shit. Like, y'all are just popping, and I love y'all. So thank you. Guys, let me tell you, my allergies have been a hot mess. Oh, my eyes are just watering. But I digress. But guys, let me tell you, when I found this, and I'm like, there are so many people who enjoy romance, the romance genre like I do. But you guys know I specifically specialize in interracial romance and paranormal. Anything with vampires, the horror kind of stuff is more of my repertoire. But when I found this website, I was like, and you know how hard it is to keep up here. Oh my gosh, hey! We have Candy Love. Hey, welcome. Appreciate you being here. And Candy says, hi there, I'm on the site now, and thank you and you subscribe to me too. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. But guys, let me tell you, getting back into it, I know I be going on some mad crazy tangents, okay? But when it comes to romance, guys, like, you know, I hear all these new series coming out and I can't keep up. There's just so much. Like, 1 month has like 10s or 20, you know, releases or more. But for me, guys, like I said earlier, what we're gonna do, and that's why I wanted to do this live episode, is I wanted to create a TBR that's based on this website and showing you guys how to do this. So let's not waste any time, okay? So you can sign up, guys, like I said before, for you get like notifications sent to your email of like new romance book releases and deals and stuff, because we all know that as much as we love this romance genre, okay, these books be like you know, they be costing some money, honey, okay? So I'm all about a deal, and that's why I love this site, is that they'll send it to you, you know, weekly, so you can check out those deals, okay? And I'm all about them deals, okay? So what I did is you get to the website and you can sign up, guys. Just create an account, and that's what I did. And I noticed something as soon as I signed in. I was like, wait a minute, this is very similar to Goodreads, but this is like Goodreads, guys, for romance only. So if you are trying to create a romance like book collection that's organized like a TBR, this is where you need to be. So I'll have all the links and all that shit once I you know, finish doing this live. But let's not waste any time. Let's navigate through this site. So this is the home page. Here you'll see romance books and new releases. And this is what's cool, guys. For those of you, you know, like me, I'm old as dirt, okay? I am the Grim Reaper of BookTube, okay? Get your life. But I'm trying to keep current, you know, I'm trying to, you know, keep up, be cool and all that shit. So they have a new release section. And right now we have a Penelope Ward book here with M. Keelan, my favorite souvenir. Yes, he is definitely a souvenir that I would like to have for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Okay, get your life. But you have new releases. They also have in this corner what, you know, it changes, you know, so make sure you bookmark this website and you can check it, see what all the deals and all that. But these are the books that are on sale. These are pre-ordered. So now, you know, I can be like, oh yeah, there's the new Natalie Singh book coming out. Yeah, keeping it current. Whoa. But then there's also a Marie Force with Rescue After Dark. And let me tell you, if a man wants to rescue me, make it happen. Okay? But then they also have favorites here. So these are books that seem to maybe be popular with people making, you know, their own TBRs. And then, guys, here you have all of your new romance releases. I heard this one's really cool, pretty good, by Amanda Bouchette here. Hey, we got Bob. Welcome to the program. Unfortunately, Bob, I'm not doing reactions today. I also will be doing like reactions to, like, you know, books that I've read and stuff like that. Oh, we have Victoria. Hey, what's up? What's going on? And Victoria's like, I literally love you. Okay, thank you. I appreciate that love. Thank you so much. Welcome to the program here. But yeah, I'm not doing any reactions today, my friend, but I will. Trust me, guys. We're going to have a lot of fun on this program. I'm a hot damn mess, okay? And then, of course, we have Danielle Steele's, you know, wedding dress. So, yeah, so if you want the tea on the romance tea, or as like I said yesterday, the book receipts, this is where you want to be, specifically if you're into romance, okay? So, yeah, these are all the new releases. You can, like, click on that. It'll bring you to all the new releases and stuff. Ooh, I see, guys, even though the book could be terrible, but if there's a cover with a fine white chocolate daddy like this with them abs, I gravitate to that right away. Oh, good. But those are all the new releases. If you want pre-order, these are books that are on pre-order. So this site, guys, is great to keep up to date. It's phenomenal. So, and then here's the cool thing too, guys. You can also search by plot or themes. So let's say, for example, you're into erotic romance like myself. I like me a little good smut, you know what I mean? Okay. So a mess. But you can search it that way too. They have like version heroine, possessive hero, billionaire, strong heroine, and so on and so forth. So yeah, this site is popping. I didn't even know, guys. You can Gail Carringer. I love her. Her books are savage. She has a new one here, Defy or Defend. You can pre-order that shit. Get it? You know what I'm saying? But yeah, you have a lot of different options that, you know, guys, you can play around with the website and everything. So if you see here in the corner here, you got this like, you know, 3 lines here. All you do is you click on that and then you get a complete listing here too. So you have all-time favorite romance books. These are kind of like they're kind of like book lists probably put together by the people who created this site. So you have like best of 2020, best of 2019, so on. You got authors, you have the top authors, you have find authors by topics, you know, all sorts of stuff. So here's the cool thing, guys, about romance.io, this site. Just click on bookshelves. And when you click on bookshelf, as you can see, remember this book I was talking about yesterday, this hot mess. It's a good hot mess, okay? It's called Civil Warriors. I couldn't believe this, guys, but they have like it's like a complete search just for romance books. So that's what we're gonna do now. Is I'm gonna actually be putting together, guys, my actual TBR live. So you guys will see not only the books that I have, and it's updated because I got some new books, okay? And then also, guys, I'm going to be talking with you guys too today about how I feel about like this new kind of emerging genre. I mean, it's been around, but I'm seeing it a little bit more prominent now. And I'm going to be talking about my opinions on historical romance and the Y, like historical romance, YA is what I call it. So I'm going to be talking about that today and my feelings on romance YA, because that's really starting to pick up traction now. It's really, really popular. And like they have like romance, a new adult as well. So we're going to talk about that today too while I'm organizing and showing you guys what I got. My book receipts, bitch. My book receipts, okay? So you just click on bookshelves, guys, and this comes up. Now it's gonna be blank for you, but this is how you add books to your romance.io, okay? So what you want to do is like here it had, you can, you know, give it a rating, or you know, you want to read it. See, the only thing is, unlike Goodreads, you can't put like you're currently reading. It's either the books that you want to read and the books that you completed. So that's the only downside, I would say. I don't really care for in regards to this here. All right, so what you need to do now, make sure I do this here. Okay, so you have your bookshelf. So anytime you put a book, it's gonna show up here. But let's just go back to the home page. So you just click on romance.io, the logo, and it'll take you back. And then what you can do, trying to make sure I can do this right for you guys here, because you can search. Let's see here. Okay, yeah, here you go. All right, so you want to click on search. All right, and then once you go to search, you can either search by the actual name of the book, or you can search by themes or topics. So let's say, you know what's really popular, you know, and I think it's going to be popular for a very long time, is dark romances. And so let's get started here. So I took all of my books apart and I'm like, what am I doing? Oh my gosh, guys, so many books I got to organize. So this is going to be 2 parts, okay? So the first part, oh, excuse me. Oh, indigestion. Good God. How embarrassing. But the first part today, we're just going to do romance. Tomorrow, we're going to do my historical fiction, because besides paranormal romance and interracial romance is what we primarily talk about on here. But I will also be talking about historical fiction and webcomics. I love webcomics. I wish it was talked about more on BookTube, to be honest with you. But that's what I'm here for. Be that resource, okay? So let's get started here, guys. So, the book series that I got to read right away is, and once again, shout outs to Peace Love Books, because she is the reason why I bought this whole series, which is the J.R. Ward's Black Dagger Brotherhood series. And then the other thing that I want to do too is not only put them in my romance IO TBR here, but also to organize it on my bookshelf, so that way I can just grab it, read, lickable.com. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and put this in here, J.R. Ward, and make sure that I am putting this in the right order. But I hope you guys are doing well, though. Like, that was so much fun being on the show yesterday, and I just appreciate all of y'all checking me out, because I was just like, wow, I'm like, y'all want to check out my crazy behind? Like, thank you. Much appreciated. So, all right, let me go ahead here. Okay, so I got the order set up here. So we're gonna start with Black Dagger Brotherhood, because that is literally the first book series that I'm gonna read, that I got just like earlier this month. So all you have to do is, okay, so the first book, make sure I got this here. I'm gonna bring all these up for y'all to see here. Okay, so the first book in the series is called Dark Lover. Okay, now what woman would not appreciate a dark lover? Okay, I mean, obviously yes. No, different strokes for different folks. Okay, but I digress. So this is Dark Lover. So half of my collection is paperback, the other half is hardcover. So all you have to do, guys, is you just bring this up here and just search, let's say, you search JR. I wish it would automatically come up like how Goodreads does, but it doesn't, All right, so, but it still works here. So you just want to click search, and that would not be it. So let's try searching it by the book here. So, okay, so we'll say, see, sometimes it may come up, but sometimes it may not. So that's the other downside about this site. So, just use it the best way you can. If you can't get it on here, then I would say just make a Goodreads account and do it that way. Let's see what happens here. Okay, so now we're gonna have to search because there's a lot of books. Okay, so here it is. So we got Dark Lover. So you can just click on it, and you can also review it too, guys. And here's another cool thing. Underneath the listing, let's say you don't have this book, you can, get it on Amazon or check other stores. You can also put your own rating to it. They give you a little synopsis. And then they also will give you other like tags and stuff. So, this book has like, sassy heroine, insta love, stuff like that. So this is a great way, guys, to get your stuff organized and learn more about the books that you're about to read too. But then, as you can see here, they have the rest of the books in the proper order, including the latest book, which I just got, which is The Sinner. So that's nice, because then you don't have to, go to another website like Goodreads and, get it all organized. But I would say, guys, when it comes to books, when you're trying to buy, especially within the romance genre, it is very easy to go to the reviews. But guys, take the views into consideration, but don't let the reviews consume your opinion about a series that you enjoy. because there's a lot of book series that I like that some of my friends are like canceled.com. But for me, it's my taste. You know what I mean? So always read, guys, the stuff that you enjoy, even when it's not popular, even when people are not talking about it. You know, read the stuff that is juicy to you, that's tasteful to you. But I also have been, you know, stepping out of my comfort zone. And that's how I found the historical fiction genre and things like that. Even I'm reading a lot of like YA kind of romance now too. And we'll talk about that in a moment. I'm kind of conflicted with YA romance and just YA in general. Maybe we'll get into it. But yeah, here's the first book. So all you have to do is you just go here, guys. You just click on bookmark, and then you can either put it, you've already read it already, or want to read. So then we're gonna go ahead and put want to read. So that is the first book in the series. And when you click on these tags, I'm sure they'll show you like other books that that would be in that category. But guys, I just, like I said, as soon as I found out this website, my mind was like this. I was like I had to show you guys this because it's so cool. All right, so we have Dark Lover. So the ones that I have organized, I'm gonna put it over here.
To be on the show.
All right, give me a second here, guys. Sorry about this.
On the lineup, it's just, it doesn't feel like it. The show feels like a really next level thing, and yeah.
Here we go. Sorry about that. All right, let's get back into it here. Okay, so we got Dark Lover, so that's the first book. Then the second book is Lover Internal, so this is it here. So I got that. So then all you have to do, guys, and this is literally what I will do, is I will just, like, you just click on it, and boom, it takes you to the second book. Just hit bookmark, and then you just hit want to read, and then it's in your list, and you're done. So there is the Lover Eternal. So that's the second book. Then the third book is Lover Awaken. I just got this. And all of my books, guys, I literally get them used. Sometimes I'll get it new if I don't have a choice, or if it's the only like the only way that I can get it. But if I can get it used, you gotta save that money, honey. Okay, so that's book 3. And let's see here, did I have it? Okay, so I have it as, okay, there we go. So want to read. Then you have book 4, which is Lover Revealed. So that's it right there. And then you just keep doing this. Want to read. Then you have book 5, which is Lover Unbound. And of course, I always pick the book series that, and Victoria says, yes, save that money. Let me tell you, save that money, honey, okay? The coin is kind of tight during this coronavirus, okay? So let me tell you guys, like, coronavirus has completely changed how, you know, we're going to be interacting with each other, you know, but let me tell you, I may be fat, but as soon as I hear a cough, I turn into a track runner. I'm just like, scoop, I am gone. No, a mess. But let me tell you, toilet paper is the new coin, okay? And as soon as I hear a cough, I turn into a track runner, okay? I'm getting into shape, okay? But I digress. I digress. I'm a hot damn mess. All right. So let's keep going here. So now we have the first 5 books in there. And then we have book 6, which is Lover Enshrined. So there's that one. Put these. But yeah, I had to read this one first because, like, let me tell you, like, all the time people have been telling me, they're like, yo, why haven't you been reading Black Dagger Brotherhood, and you're a vampire romance book fan, and I'm like, okay, I'll get it. But let me tell you guys, these books are not easy to find. Like, it took me months to get these books. Okay, a mess. But yeah, as you can see, guys, this is so easy to do. And once it's in there, and I'll show you once we finish like archiving, putting this list together here, you'll see a complete listing of what you want to read. And then all you have to do is, once you finish it, just hit complete. Or, you know what I do too is I also put it on my Goodreads, just in case, let's say this site were to go down, you know, because that could happen. Just, you know, make an account on Goodreads so that way you have it. Or some people, you know, the ones that are really, really avid book readers, they go to the extent of making a spreadsheet, darling, okay? Or they make a Word document, so that way that, you know, they can keep track of what they're reading, so they don't read like the same book twice and stuff like that. So yeah, it's pretty cool. This is pretty cool. All right, let's keep going here. So we got book 6 is Lover Avenged. His sexy ass. I love a man with a strong jawline, darling. Okay, so I have it here. This Lover Avenged is the excuse me here, good God. Okay, so these are like my hardcovers now. We're going to hardcover territory, darling. All right, so this is yeah, Lover Avenged. So I got this one here, this fine ass, yes, one. All right, so put this on, just hit want to read, and we're good there. Then after that, we have Lover Mine. This is like my favorite cover, because let me tell you, when it comes to a fine man, like, my fingernails be all over that chest, honey. You put in the finest oils on that chest, be like, you know. No. I'm a mess, y'all. Hot mess. And oh, okay, so Candy, if you don't mind me calling you that, Candy says, loving this site, awesome, thank you. Thank you, bye Goodreads. Ooh, the book receipts have been unleashed. Yes. Ooh, I threw my fan up in the air. Outrageous. But yeah, like, Goodreads is not bad. It's not bad, but I've been, now that I have this, I'm gonna be using this more just for my romance stuff, and then like my stuff in general. And you know, fans are flying, my parasol is going up in the air, a hot mess today. But now for romance, I'm gonna be using this site mainly, but I'll still put it on my Goodreads. I will have that listed on my about section for YouTube, of course, and also I'm on Twitch too, twitch.tv/bookshade. Get your life. So yeah, there's Lover Mine. There you go. Let's go ahead, put want to read and put it to the side. Let me like get my fan. I got too excited. Too excited here. Woo. Fan off all this heat. You know, I'm just thinking about all these vampire daddies. Like, good God. All right. This show is a mess, y'all. It really is. Okay. So after Lover Mine, we have book 9, which is Lover Unleashed. So there is Lover Unleashed. Go. And hopefully this is not boring, guys. Just me. I was just wanting to do this today because I had it all perfect. Okay, like couple episodes back, I was just like, yes, my book collection is set. And then I saw some more books, and then I bought some more. And then shout outs to my mom. My mom's just like, stop buying books. No. My mom's awesome. Like, she She and my dad are the reason why I really got into reading, because they would buy me tons of books and stuff like that. But what kind of got me into more of like the vampires and stuff was when I was in high school, I read Interview with the Vampire, so I'm a huge Anne Rice stan. So I will, that's gonna be the next book series eventually I'm gonna reread, and we'll be doing a lot of what I like to call book roasting, where I just give my unfiltered approach and discussion. It's gonna be a lot like this live that I'll be doing, and then we will just talk about the book and of course, you know, Kiki and liveourbestlives.com and live our fantasies, okay? And and Candy says, yeah, something since Twilight and after. Yeah, you know, Twilight, I did buy it because I wanted to see what the big deal was. Like, I had a friend who was like a super stan going hard for Twilight. And here's my thing, okay? There's nothing wrong with, you know, a vampire having some copper glow to the skin, you know, having some type of glow. But when that glow is turning into Rick James glitter, that's a little too much for me personally. I have no problems with guys putting some glitter on their chest, okay? Get your life. But the way that they describe it in the books, from what I read, I'm like, this is too much glitter. I cannot. I need to squeegee this glitter off of your chest. I can't. You know what I mean? It's a hot mess. All right, so what else we got here? So we have book 10, which is Lover Reborn. So I have that here. Lover Reborn. And yeah, I'm a huge like vampire romance book fan. I just like reading about, you know, just vampires in general like that. So I just, it's just sad to me that, you know, I won't, you know, let's give some credit where credit is due. Yes, Twilight helped to reinvigorate people being interested in the vampire book genre, but prior to that, we had Buffy the Vampire Slayer. We had, you know, of course, 1992's Bram Stoker's Dracula, those type of adaptations. My personal favorite, just because I'm really into 70s movies, I love me some Frank Langella. 1979's Dracula, okay, that was popping. Them sideburns were giving me life. but you know, Twilight is not the only reason that the vampire genre, like book genre, is still going on. There are tons of people who like reading it. Yes, Twilight made it mainstream, but all of us that are like the true vampire book fans, we know that this has been going on. You know, there was Anne Rice, Bram Stoker, there's so many other people. Okay, Laurel K. Hamilton, tons of other people, you know? So, and Candy says, yeah, I love both, but having trouble getting into the romance adult, especially the steamy ones. Now, here's the thing. Steamy is relative, okay? There's different levels of steam, okay? So, for example, I read this book called Bloodborne by Sydney Windward. And guys, let me tell you, I responded to her on Goodreads, and she actually responded, and I love her books. This is the first part of the Bloodborne series, and then she like gave me the kiki and like told me that the next volume is gonna be coming out this year, and I was like, oh my god, it was so good. It was so good. It's a Bloodborne is by Sydney Windward, and it's this romance between Dracula's daughter and a vampire slayer. They're called blood hunters. It was so savage, but it's low steam. Like, there's not even there's implied romance in there, but there's no, like, you know, graphic sex scene. So like, that's level 1, okay, to me. Then level 2, you get more into, like, there's a little bit milder description. But see, for me, I get really slutty with my books sometimes. So I like me like what was I reading? But it's still tame. The Arsenal series by Lindsay Sands. I just finished the first book, And that was juicy. Okay, I was living my fantasy, livingmybestlife.com. Okay, but it's not gonna be for everyone. You know, a lot of times, and this is something that I'm even learning in my booktuber journey, is that what works for me is not always gonna be the consensus that everybody is into. Oh, hey, we got Jafar. What's up? And Jafar's like, hey, what's up? Welcome. And oh, Jafar says, you are so beautiful. Oh, saying my goddess. Okay, thank you. Much appreciated. Us fat ladies need the compliments as well. Thank you. All right, much appreciated. Welcome. But yeah, you know, it's different strokes for different folks. You know, when it comes to romance, it doesn't always have to be smutty for it to be sexy, okay? Like, so I've read everything. I've read it where there's, you know the romance happened, but I've also read it where I was just like, my gosh, like this is, let me get some holy water. this is a lot, you know? But you will learn as you read romance what your tolerance level is, so I appreciate that. Oh, and Jafar say I'm perfect. Hey man, I'm not perfect. I'm just human. I'm just being me. So I appreciate it, my friend. Thank you. But yeah, that's the thing though, is that when it comes to romance, and this is where romance gets stigmatized, is a lot of times like there's this assumption that if you read romance, you're like a total hoe or you're a slut or something. And it's like, no, that's not it. Like, not everybody reads romance the same way. So that's why I started doing my show too, was because I wanted to kind of really change, hopefully, you know, because you can't change what people are going to think about you, right? When it comes to your reading taste. But I would like to kind of help with aiding with kind of hopefully changing people's perceptions that may have misconceptions about the romance genre. It's not all smutty, slutty kind of stuff, and you know, sometimes there's what's called you know, romantic classism and things like that, where there's sensuality but it's still sexy. You know, I think it's just because it's the society that we're in where, you know, sexy has to be really slutty, and that's fine. But there's different degrees of sexiness. And I like to recognize that, and that also is reflected in what I read too. You know, do I like a really good slutty, just sexy romance? Yes. But I can also appreciate like Jane Austen and the classics, and, you know, showing men as gentlemen, because that's another issue sometimes that I have with the romance genre, is that men get portrayed in so many different extremes that sometimes it's not healthy. So for example, what's really popular, which I'm starting to get into to understand, is the alpha romances. On one hand, yes, it is sexy to see a man, you know, we're talking more from the heterosexual perspective here. It is sexy to see a man, you know, take a little control, handle the business, you know, a little bit like that. But when that control is coming from a disrespectful way and not seeing the, you know, the woman, or we're LGBTQIA friendly here, or their partner as an equal, that's the reason why I don't read a lot of alpha romances, is because sometimes it kind of misconstrues the perception of men within romance, and that they can be seen as kind of either being super arrogant or jockey and things like that. So Jafar, you so nice. I appreciate the compliments, man. But that's my issue with romance, is like, it's the same thing, like, remember in the 70s, right? And how 70s romance, a lot of times women are just seen as an object. The same thing can be reflected to men. Same thing that can be reflected in interracial romance and stuff like that. I'll have to do a separate episode definitely talking about that, because that's one thing that I have an issue with the romance genre, is I just want to see better portrayals. And we're seeing that. We're seeing women being independent, being confident. We're seeing different types of relationships. But still, I would like to see men not be seen always as a trope. And I like it now that there are authors now making books with men that the relationship is more organic, and it's not like this cocky, arrogant asshole kind of guy. Which for some people that's their taste, and do do your damn thing. But for me, I like to see men in a classier way. Like I like to read ones where the guy's like into like IT and he's really smart, and he like respects women. That's kind of refreshing. But I can understand the appeal of, like, for example, 50 Shades of Grey and that kind of thing with BDSM. But there's different levels of BDSM. So when those books came out, I had to be honest, I did give them the side eye a little bit, because not all different types of BDSM are represented that way. And actually, that's very vanilla. So, like, when people are like, when they were gagging to me and kikiing with me and being like, oh my gosh, Amira, I read 50 Shades of Grey. I'm like, oh, that's wonderful. I have them. I've read them. But you ain't seen nothing yet, Like you are just reading level 1 BDSM genre romances, So you will find, though, you will find, Candy, that you will find what works for you. So that's all that matters, I think sometimes with the romance genre, it's like you gotta read the popular stuff, because you want that relevancy, but it's not gonna be for everybody. Like, I'm not into alpha romances. You guys learned that I am not into the I tried a hockey romance, but that puck was not working for me, honey. But you will find what works for you. I just want, different, just a different way for people to view the romance genre, because a lot of times it goes to the alpha male or dark romance, which dark romance, you gotta have a special mindset to tolerate some of the content that are in those books. Just like with paranormal romance, you have to be comfortable with, a human going out with a shapeshifter and things like that. So, And Candy says, I'll start there. Then thanks. Yeah. I understand I own the 50 Shades, just never read them like the movies, like them movies though. Yeah, the first movie was good. No, I take it back. The first movie was hilarious because it was really bad acting, especially on Dakota Fanning's part. Like, she knows better, but that's just me. The second movie really redeemed itself. Like, I could tell that, she really was coming into the character, so it was more realistic. But I always tell people that you gotta take 50 Shades of Grey with a grain of salt. If you read the books and you understand the deeper context of their relationship, it's not healthy. It's not a healthy relationship. If you take all the BDSM and all that stuff out, when you really look at the foundation of their relationship at first, like the first book, the first 2 books, it was in the early half of the second book, it was not healthy. It's not a healthy relationship. Like, that's not how, to me, a relationship should be. So I always tell people, when you read 50 Shades, please put that into consideration, because I saw so many women reading this book and they were just like, yes, honey. And I'm like, okay, do you, but just remember that this is not how a man is supposed to treat you. Like, period. So yeah, he redeems himself a little bit later in the book, and then in 50 Shades Free a little bit, but there's still a lot of unhealthiness of how Christian treats Anastasia. It's not healthy, and no woman should put up with that bullshit. Okay, I'm just saying. And Candy says, yeah, I can tell that. The movie also, so agree. Yeah, I just want, especially for women who read this genre, and we also have to recognize too that men read romance as well. But I just want for women to recognize that, these books are there, there's the fantasy of the romance, but a lot of times the relationships are not always healthy. And for some women, they can recondition themselves to think that this is a healthy relationship, when this is not how, whether you're, partner or, same sex or not, This is not how your spouse or your significant other or your boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever is supposed to treat you. So I that's one thing that I will be emphasizing here on the program, is that when you read the romance genre, especially if you're a new reader, I'm not talking to the people that, they know already because they've read it for a very long time. But I always think about the newer readers to the genre, is that you sometimes, if you're not careful and you're a new reader and you're reading these books, you could recondition how you see relationships, and that's not healthy. So I always take reading these books with a grain of salt, and I enjoy it. I have humorous time with it. It's the fantasy, but I don't apply what I see in these books to an actual relationship, because it's not always going to translate. So just remember that, to those of you who are new romance book readers. It's not like, just because you read it in this book, that doesn't mean it's going to translate. Like, all guys will treat you differently. Your partner may treat you differently. So, that's the whole thing, even with romantic comedies too, is that the fantasy of the romance is great. It's beautiful, but you can't always take what you see in a movie and apply it to an actual relationship. So I always say that to new romance readers, just remember that. All right, so long tangent there, but let's look here. So this is Lover Reborn. There we go. But yeah, the 50 Shades books, it's a good starting point, but I will say though, the way the books are constructed is not, I wouldn't say is the best romance books, and you're kind of leaning more towards adult there, just because of the subject matter. Because even though the books technically, if it didn't have the BDSM component, they would pretty much be new adult, because the environment, of Anastasia and her friends and everything is in college. So, you could say it's new adult, but the reason why they had to market it as adult is just because of the sexuality component, But now, the rating system for books is so up in the air now. I mean, we have YA romance, and a lot of the books that are being categorized as YA romance should be new adult, just because of the subject matter. But see, it's all up in the air. I could talk about that for a whole damn episode, okay? Maybe I will someday. All right, so let's put this as want to read. So there we go, Lover Reborn. But yeah, you guys will learn I'm very opinionated. But I like to look at reading from that intellectual standpoint, especially romance. Because a lot of times romance, from if you're not a romance reader, from the outside looking in, a lot of people criticize romance because they say it's primitive literature. But when you actually start reading it, there's a lot of complexities to romance. There's a lot of subgenres and things like that. So I think it's very important to note that the romance genre has a complexity. You could say the same thing with science fiction, fantasy, any genre. The only reason why I think people trash on romance is just because there's sexuality involved, and anytime sexuality is involved with literature, it always gets a downgrade. Like, it's really stupid to me, but I digress. All right, so next book I believe is The King, I think. Oh no, it's Lover at Last. So that's book 11. Got his Step Up hoodie on. I'm not sure if you guys remember the movie Step Up with Channing Tatum. I used to think he was so fine. Like, maybe it was just that strong jawline or something, but yes, okay. But this is Lover at Last. Show it all shiny and shit. So put this here, and then we'll bookmark it, say want to read. And Candy says, that's why I thought with the After series, I finished book 1 a while back, and I thought that that they would have been no adult not to. Yeah, Yeah, but see, that's the thing is I think that when it comes to especially the romance book genre, I think there needs to be a evaluation. This is more on the sides of the book companies. I think they need to restructure their rating systems and how they categorize books. Because a lot of times, and this is where I see this all the time, is where someone gets a book and they're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe, and they're like so offended and stuff like that. I think that some of these book companies need to do a better job with explaining the content in these books. And also on the side of the reader, I think you also have to take a personal accountability and responsibility to understand the subject matter that you're reading. Because the one subgenre of romance that gets a lot of BS, to be honest, is dark romance. You should do your research, because dark romance, hence the name, dark, you should know what you're getting yourself into. There's going to be a lot of subject matter that is not always going to be, is not going to be everybody's cup of tea. But that's the thing. I hate when people get offended, because you should do your research before reading a book, so then you know what you're getting yourself into. I just don't like that, because that's what makes the romance genre it gets a lot of disrespect, in my opinion, for no reason. But that's just me. Like, it gets criticized for no reason because people are not taking, well, some people, not to generalize like that, but you know what I mean. You know, it's like people need to take the time to really do their research. Like, don't read dark romance if you're not into dark, you know, if you don't understand what dark romance is. You know, it's the other one is like the I would say the age difference, they call it, romance, like the age gap romance. That one also gets a lot of flack, but it's like, okay, it's called age gap, okay, for that reason. So do your research before reading it. Like, don't cancel a whole genre and say, oh, all romance books are trash because of this one bad experience you had with the book. I'm just saying. See, I keep it very transparent, okay? I keep it real here. Yes, go on. But that's always been my issue with people criticizing the romance genre. It's like, okay, what genre did you read? Oh, I read a dark romance book. Did you do your research reading it? Oh no, but I was so offended. And I'm like, well, you can't be offended. If you have done your research, and I'm just talking specifically to people who do this, because it makes it frustrating for people like me who actually love reading the genre, and then I have to be subjected to a lot of like unnecessary negative criticism. Like, don't cancel a genre like that without really doing the research of understanding it. It's like with me, like I won't lie, I canceled YA, you know, but upon doing further research and talking to people, you know, there's certain types of YA that I could read. It's still not my favorite genre, because I like new adult a little bit better, because I think I relate to the characters better. But like I always tell people, like, before you read romance genre, you know, make sure you do your research to find out what your tastes are and things. You know, don't just pick up a book because the cover, I mean, the cover looks cool, that's great, but like, don't read something and then you get all offended, like, oh my gosh, this dark romance was so, come on now. Okay, you need to do your research before reading it. You know, I that's what I do now. Like, for me, I research Black Dagger Brotherhood before buying it, because I wanted to make sure that, oh, okay, maybe this is something that's going to be my taste. I'm not going to just be like, oh, well, Black Dagger Brotherhood sucks, you know, or cancel it, but when I haven't given it a fair opportunity. But that's just me, though. Everybody going to do their thing, but I just hate when people cancel our genre, because it's something that I, like, for me, it's something that I enjoy reading, but just because I'm a romance reader, that doesn't mean I'm a slut. Just because I'm a romance reader, I'm not always reading smutty stuff. Like there's different degrees, and everybody's different. Some people only like the smutty stuff. Other people like the implied stuff. Some people like alpha romance. Other people like the age gap or forbidden romance, as it's called. You know, I just don't cancel a genre if you don't know anything about it. Just saying. Just saying. But let's continue here, guys. Got so many hot tangents today. Oh my gosh. Okay, so all right, I got that. Okay, so this is book 12, which is The King. So here is the Kang. There we go. King, fine as hell. All right, and then we'll just do want to read. So yeah, that's all you have to do, guys. You just, you know, want to read, put it to the side. Get your life, as I would say. All right. So then next we have, oh, The Shadows, which is book 13. I had these all in the wrong order. What is wrong with me? Good God. All right, so here is The Shadow. I do want to read. But yeah, you guys will learn very quickly when it comes to reading. I'm very passionate about it, but I keep it real too. You know, I really stand up for the romance genre, because yeah, it just gets really misunderstood. And you know, most of the time, like I said, when people think of romance, they automatically gravitate and stereotype the really smutty kind of stuff. And a lot of times the smutty stuff too, guys, it actually has a storyline. There's actually like a build up to it. So find what you're interested in, find what your tastes are, but don't cancel romance just because it's like you haven't done the research. Like, you know, just give it a chance. If it's not for you, okay, I get it. All right, so we have The Shadows on there. And then next we have The Beast, which is book 14. Hashtag beast mode. So here it is right here. We have The Beast. Right there. And we'll put, yep, want to read. All right, what else we got here? What we got? All right, so after The Beast, we then have book 15, which is The Chosen. All right, so here is The Chosen. Put that there. Want to read. And then from The Chosen, we have The Thief. So this one I just got not too long ago. So here is The Thief. Oh, and we have N, and welcome to the show. Appreciate you being here. So Thief, have want to read. Then after The Thief, no, we're not doing this today. That's so ignorant. Good day. Like people asking me stupid questions like that. Come on now, guys. Not all of you, but some people like to be ignorant like that. I don't have time for it here. Okay. All right, get your life. All right. Excuse me here. Oh my gosh, not to be rude, but come on. All right. So after The Thief, we have The Savior. All right, so then we have this one I just got too. So there is The Savior. We'll put want to read. Oh, and we got Play. What's up? And Play is like nice. I love that one. Oh, you read Black Dagger? Awesome. I heard it was a real treat. I also got Vampire Academy. And the spin-off Bloodlines by Rochelle Mead. I heard those were really good. Yeah, normally I don't read YA, but I like those books that kind of are more like, technically, to be honest, Vampire Academy should be new adult because of the subject matter. But like YA overall, and this has always been a controversial kind of stance on it. At first, I thought of YA as a genre, but it's always debatable because YA is such a market genre, as they would call it. So it's something I debate with, like, should I call YA a book genre, or is it just a marketing term? And I think for me, I'm kind of conflicted. I think it's both, but because a lot of times YA is just based on popularity. And for me, a book genre has to have, like, I mean, YA has certain characteristics that really make it like stand on its own. But a lot of times with YA, like the books, the storylines are pretty much similar and some stand out. But the thing that makes me laugh though, and I found this out, is YA has been around for a really long time. But it was not until the late 90s that in like early 2000s that YA really exploded, but it was because of marketing that YA really blew up, and that marketing actually came because of movies. So there started to be a lot of movies that were based on YA series, and then that's what caused the genre to really explode. But the problem I have sometimes with YA is there's like a certain formula. So that's where I kind of get conflicted. And with YA romance, it makes it even more confusing, because then you have books by like Sarah J. Maas where it's borderline, where you're like, okay, is this YA crossover? There's some kind of new adult in there. So I just think that the book companies, they just need to kind of reevaluate how they categorize things, and maybe there might be a book rating system, and make really clear criteria, because then this is why so many people get offended and all this stuff, is because since there's no clear distinctions or at least a guideline, then when people pick up books, they're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I've read this. This is, I'm so offended. And it's like, I really wish that they had that. I know it's out there, but like, yeah, I noticed with YA, it's all over the place. Like, there's some things I'm reading, I'm just like, this is YA? This is really mature, And then there are other things where I'm like, I can't relate to the characters. So I think maybe they should make, this is just me. And Play says, yes, beautiful stories. Okay, I'm excited to read Black Dagger Brotherhood then. I think for me, they need to maybe make like a YA adult category, maybe. That would be good, because then that it kind of crosses both, like, and I know that's what YA crossover is supposed to be, but sometimes there's stuff that is YA, but the subject matter is something that an adult would relate to. So I think maybe having some type of hybrid in between the YA crossover, I think that would help. Because some of the books I've read, I'm like, this is definitely not for a YA audience, but it gets marketed as YA because YA sells. When you just, if the book has a really awesome, real put together cover and you smack YA on that shit, people buy it, regardless of the quality of the story. Now, if the story is really, really bad, then people won't buy it. But I just noticed that YA gets more connected with marketing than like other genres like science fiction, fantasy. They're just like, YA is treated differently. But it's a hard genre to be in, though, I have to be honest, because to be a YA author is kind of like a double-edged sword, because you can't, certain things you can cover in YA, but you can't go too far, because then that'll put you in adult. But then if you lessen it too much, then it's like really watered down, and then it kind of goes outside of YA. So hot mess. The whole book genre thing is, it's sometimes it's palatable and it's concrete and there's a direction or at least characteristics or guideline, But then other genres, it's just like, it's open for interpretation, which is good, but it's like, sometimes I would like to see some kind of construct, because then people know what they're getting into. I'm talking specifically to the people who are really sensitive with book subject matter. I think it would help those people, versus someone like me. I pretty much, when it comes to romance, I read all the smuttiest of the smut, and then I read the light and fluffy stuff. So it's all good when it comes to me, man. All right, so music cut off. What the heck? All right, here we go. All right, so Savior, got that. We got 2 more actually here. This is a long series, man. So next we have I got Savior. Okay, so this is book 18, which is The Sinner. So this is a different cover, but this is where I love this cover. It's so badass. So there we go. So we got that. And oh, let me go here and do want to read. Okay, now the other book is kind of like an in-between, and I didn't see it here. Oh, Victoria is back. Yay! Welcome. Hey. Victoria is like, I love J.R. Ward, and I want to read more by her. Yeah, I bought the entire series, guys. You know me, I am like the biggest Peace Love book stan. Okay, I'm not trying to say her name to be like that, but damn, I go hard for her, because she really gives the really good recommendation. So I saw like her admiration for the series, and I was like, I really need to get this. Then I started checking out other booktubers too, that were really into it. Because see, for me, I don't know, like the genres that I like are not, I mean, some of them are popular, but some of them are not. So it's kind of hard to, like when I give recommendations, I don't know if people know this series, or they're like, what the fuck is this? Or like, this bitch is so behind, like, you know what I mean? But yeah, that cover is so wonderful. And Victoria says, I also love Peace Love books. Yeah, we stand her. Yeah, I stand a lot of people, guys. I will be letting you know. Ooh, excuse me, guys. I'm so sorry. I had, you know, when you get that burp, it's like stuck up in there. I was like, ah! But yeah, there's so many people I stan, so I will be doing a stan episode and telling you guys why. But like, yeah, yeah, Peace Love books to me is heaven. So I just love, she keeps it real. She lets you know, she's like, this book is good, or this book is not slaying, even though she went, my impression of her is terrible, but yeah, she'll let you know, she'll let a sister know. Okay. And then this book is kind of like in between. I'm not sure why it's not showing. I think they're just showing like the main. Oh, this is cool. Okay, so it says Black Dagger reading order and complete book list. Oh, this is cool. So guys, at the bottom, you go to the end of the where you see the book order. It actually shows you a more detailed listing here. Okay, so they have other books that are kind of in between. So you have like this one called Father Mine. There's, I know this one is kind of in between, but isn't this cool? Like, this is so, it's well put together. Yeah, this book is right in the middle. I don't have that one, The Dearest IV. I don't know where this, okay, yeah, this one is the 17 book, 17 and a half. So this one is called Where Winter Finds You. It's kind of like a Christmas special. So I got that one too. But now I have to get, I didn't know there was a, and then here's the cool thing, guys. It'll actually show you other book series that are similar to Black Dagger. So like you just click on this, and then here are some other series. I'm not surprised. Sarah J. Maas would be in there. Candy, yay, back for more. And says, yeah, it is. And then, oh, Victoria says, I read the first book in Black Dagger. I'm on the second book. All right, get your life. I'm going to start it probably after I read Civil Warriors. Guys, let me tell you. Civil Warriors, good God. Like, It is like Jerry Springer romance in the Civil War. Okay, this sister cannot make up her mind between these two fabulous white chocolate daddies. Okay. Okay, so my Amira slang here. White chocolate daddy is fine ass white man. So just my terminology. But yeah, she's like going back and forth. She's just like, you know, the older brother, and then, you know, I just can't. I'm just like, honey, like, I would go for, because there's John Richard and then there's Willem. Willem I would go for over John Richard, because Willem actually like treats her like really nice and all about that chocolate persuasion, you know what I mean? And John Richard wants her, but he's like he be conflicting playing the games a little bit. And I get it, because, you know, it's taking place during, you know, slavery time, okay? But the book is a really interesting take on interracial relationships at that time. So we gonna talk about it, okay? That's gonna be a book roast, honey, all right? So, yeah, so you can see other series. So yeah, I can see why, you know, Sarah J. Maas would be in there, because you got alpha male and shapeshifters. There's some romance in there. Yeah, City series there, the Mortal Instruments series. I can see that. I heard this series is popping. This Immortals After Dark. This one I don't have like the 3. I heard this series is good too. The Dark in You by Suzanne Wright. So yeah, guys, this is a great website just for us romance, you know, readers, or if you're even interested in the genre and you've never dived into it. I mean, you have like, look, I mean, these are all recommendations. So, you know, Vampire Academy, of course. Ooh, look at the abs on this daddy. Yes, one. Yeah. But this is Night Prince series, I heard is good. You know, Throne of Glass. The Fae Chronicles. This series I wouldn't really get into. It doesn't seem like my type of thing. But yeah, you have a lot of recommendations here, and it does it for you automatically, which is cool. So let me go back here. All right, so yeah, we got that done, but let's go check out my bookshelf here so we can see. Yes! Okay, guys, so as you can see, this is my TBR here. It's kind of backwards, but that's okay. You know, but yeah, it's all complete here. So that's all I'm going to be doing is just like adding, you know, my TBR and stuff like that, and just keep it going here. But yeah, I'm gonna make every episode here at least an hour. I'm not gonna have y'all sit down watch 2 hours of me talking shit. But I'll be back here in a moment, because I'm actually gonna put this on my shelf, because I don't want to be tripping over books and shit. But all right, guys, you can keep in touch with me following ways. I am both on Twitter and Instagram. Just look up Bookshade and the number 1. So I have that on my YouTube, and then of course twitch.tv/Bookshade. Get your life. So all right, guys, I will be right back for more here. But like I always say, remember to embrace the darkness of reading. I'll see you guys in a moment here. Take care.